All right. So we are. So we are on page 13. Is everybody there? Javier? So page 13. Basically, we're gonna again continue with our final review. We're just going over all the terminology that we discussed earlier in the year. So, sí, van a venir todos los términos en el examen final. So, estamos más o menos, ¿verdad? Visitando eso nuevamente. Let's start with our objective. Volunteer. Donovan.
Describe methods of determining the size of the population.
Okay, so describe methods for determining the size of a population. Okay, so we're going to see how can we determine, how many organisms are in a particular area. And for the language, what are we the language? Okay, so students will compare the different methods. Of course, the methods of determining the population size. So based on that picture, what do we see there?
He's trying to guess how many bubblegums are in the jar.
So he's trying to estimate. He's trying to figure out how many bubblegums, right? So he's basically coming up with an educated guess. So on the keywords here, ¿verdad? Y las palabras clave para este repaso tenemos estimate. We have estimate is the very first one. And now, how many markers do you guys think we have here? Let's see if we can estimate.
13.
How many? 20?
13.
13? 25? 18? 20? You don't know how many? ¿Cuánto? 25? Okay, so nobody hit the number. We got 19. He said 20, he said 18, so we got 19. So you see, that was a very good estimate, all right? So in populations, it's hard to count every member of the population. So we need to estimate, we need to have different methods to have an idea about how many are in a specific place. All right, so let's go to page 14. Okay, let's go to page 14 and let's read the definition of estimate. Okay, so, Keishla.
An estimate is an approximation of a number based on reasonable assumption.
So it's an approximation. It's what we just did. We estimated how many markers are there. And on an estimate here, I will say he has at least
100.
At least 200, I will say. That's a lot there because there's some on the other side too. So you said 100, I say 200. So, okay, so today we're going to see different methods, ¿verdad? Para estudiar el tamaño de las poblaciones. So let's go over these terms real quick. So birth rate. Does anybody remember what is a birth rate? What's birth rate?
Like
Donovan?
How many child born per day?
Okay, so how many child are born per day or per year or per month, or depending on the data that you're trying to look. So these are, ¿verdad? Los niños que nacen en un sitio. And does this increase or decrease the population? Increase the population because we are adding somebody. On the other hand, we have death rate, okay, la tasa de mortalidad. So this will decrease the population. Okay, this is one way in which a population could increase or decrease. Then we have these other two. We have this word that we hear very often: immigration. What is immigration?
Immigration is when someone from another place or state comes and immigrate to.
You say the keyword comes in. So immigration is in. You're coming in. You're immigrating. But emigration, on the other hand, you are exiting. I always use the first letter, in and exit. So you see, you're going in, you're immigrating, and emigration, you're exiting. You are leaving your place, and you're going to another country. So animals, they do the same thing. So let's look at the next picture. So what do we notice here?
Oh,
The-
you have birth rate, death rate.
Immigration and death.
So
Yeah,
they are mainly Donovan, three factors. Okay, so three factors in reality are four because we have two here. So Moises. So this will be
Central.
so in what is in relation?
Central.
So how is it called?
Immigration.
Immigration and out or exit?
Emigration.
Emigration. So again, these are ways in which the population can fluctuate or the population can change. Birth rate, death rate, and in or out, okay? In or out. And this is in terms of humans, but again, any population, any species goes through basically the same process. So I'm gonna give you, we have the sheet to discuss today. So make sure you put your name, okay? And we're gonna try to put in practice what we have discussed and try to solve all these questions, all right? So basically, studying populations, I'm gonna have the sheet right up here as well. Everybody has a paper? So here we go. So this is what you guys have. So again, we have the name, date, class, environmental science. So we're gonna review what we just talked about. So here we have one of the key questions on the section. If we look on page 13, right? We have a key concept or a question. Can somebody read that question? Page 13. Donovan?
How do ecology
So how do ecologists determine the size of a population? So that is a question that you guys are asking, so let's write that down. So what is, the question is on page 13, key concepts on the left side. So how do ecologists determine the size of a population? Básicamente. Y esas preguntas están en la página 13, en la parte de la izquierda arriba. So you got three questions there. Let's start with those three questions. Again, these are the key concepts. These are the main. This is the main idea of the whole section, right? This is basically the most important details. So you can copy in the segundo. What causes population to change in size? That's the second.
Can I hear that?
That's the second one.
Look.
So the second one is how the population can change in size, or what causes population to change in size, and we kind of like talk about that already, so you guys have an idea. And the third one, what is the third question? Can somebody read it?
What factors limit population growth?
Okay, so what factors limit population growth, right? And off the top of your head, you can think what factor is a limitation to population growth? Food, plastic, okay? Space, water, stuff like that. Things that are basic for us to live. So, does everybody have the three questions here? All right, so again, as we go, we're gonna go back to those questions, right? So, does anybody has the answer to the first question? Anybody? So, vamos a traducirla. Dice, ¿cómo los ecologistas determinan el tamaño de una población? How do equality is determined?
Esta.
Can you give?
the population size?
So what are? Give me one.
Sampling.
Sampling, okay. So in the answer, one method is sampling, and we're gonna go over those methods, all right? So sampling. What is another one? Remember that we say we were like about how many pens we have here. What were we doing?
Estimating. Estimating.
Estimate. So is that one method? Or what is another method?
Sampling.
Sampling.
Indirect
We-
observation.
We can do sampling, that's another method, okay? In sampling, we take a small, a small place, we count them, then we multiply. And again, we're gonna go into detail over that. Direct and indirect, and they are in blue letters on page 13 and 14. Okay, so we got four methods. Who can mention those four methods? ¿Quién puede mencionar los cuatro
Direct
puntos?
observation. Indirect observation.
Indirect observation, sampling,
Mark and
Back.
and mark and recapture. Okay, some people they capture the animals, they mark them, and they release them, and that's how you can track where they go and how the numbers fluctuate. Okay, so that is the first one. So let's go to what each method mean. Okay, so direct observation. What is direct observation? Which letter do you guys think is direct observation? Let's read. Take a little bit of time and try to come up with a letter. Okay, I'm gonna do it myself here. So you can get information about direct observation on page 14, second paragraph. Refer to that and read what is direct observation and which letter do you think it is?
Yo creo que.
El
Ahí
agua.
lo dejo
Which letter do you guys think it is? Which letter? Letter B? Anybody think something different?
the number one.
For number one, direct observation. Letter what? B. It's letter B. Okay, so basically direct observation, you're counting all the crabs that live in a tide pool. So you're counting everything. That's direct observation. You're counting every animal. And again, but this one is the hardest one to do because it's hard to go out in the forest and count every deer that there's out there. So again, direct observation is not as practical. So how about number two, indirect observation? And that one, you can look for information on page 14, third paragraph. So indirect observation.
D.
Number D, es la 3.
So you say which letter? Number two. Which letter do you think? You think what? A. He thinks A. You think D? You think D? D? A. Okay. So indirect. So if you count all the nesting sites, so si ustedes cuentan todos los nidos en un área, and we have a picture of that on page 14 at the bottom. So, ¿sabemos cuántos hay en un nido? ¿Sabemos cuántos hay dentro o todavía no sabemos?
Todavía no
So
sabemos.
it's indirect. We're not observing directly, but indirectly we are observing because we know that there are some babies or offsprings in there. So one letter B, two letter A. Okay, so we're getting to the other ones now.
Number 3, I think it's number D.
You can see it. We are on page 13. Vamos a la página 13.